Hi, I'm Albert Wutsch and I'm in northwestern New Mexico. We're cooking with Carnivore and we're going to challenge you to up your game. I'm going to fabricate this backstrap off an elk. This backstrap is identical to the backstrap off a moose, off a deer, off a wild boar. It's the premium cut off the animal. This right here, again, is right back here where there's no ribs. They're the little finger bones that come out. This is the New York strip right here. And this then would be the prime rib or rack of lamb or rack of elk or rack of venison. And then this works its way up to the neck. You could actually go from the H-bone of the hind leg all the way right back to the back of the ear, right up the neck. And there's two muscles that lay like this. So the further you go down, the bigger this muscle gets back here and the smaller it gets. When you go further up, this muscle is small and then it gets big. So this one is tough. This one gets moist cooking methods. And all this premium cut gets dry cooking methods. Dry cooking methods are stir fry, saute, pan fry, deep fry, broil, grill, and roast. High heat, fast, and this is always served rare. If you overcook this, you're gonna make it chewy and tough. The younger the animal, the more tender it's gonna be. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to clean it up a little bit and then we're going to fabricate this and get it ready to put in the freezer. So there are some techniques with this that give us some versatility in preparation and it will save us a ton of time in the preparation and the fabrication and the butchering process. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off just some of the trim. So I'm just going to peel this off. This will go in for trim and stew. And the objective here is to end up with some nice premium cuts that'll be ready for the freezer. So it's nice and clean. There's no dirt on it. There's no hair on it. And underneath here, there's a little bit of trim that we can trim off. There's a little bit of a chain right here, all the way from the back of the head all the way to the tail. There's a very big yellow tendon that goes all the way along the back. You know when you're working on the animal on the ground where you are as far as the middle, so that you're not cutting into the loin on the other side of those feather bones that stick up. So believe it or not, it's pretty much ready to go. So we're going to take a look at this and say, okay, I'm going to take this and I'm just going to cut this into, for our family size, I'm going to cut this right down through here. And I love this part when I'm butchering meat because it's nice, it's easy, it's fast, and this goes right to the wrapper. So I usually butcher with our family and down to the wrappers it goes. And this is all marked as loin. The whole strip, basically the whole loin off the back strap, but some people call it the saddle. It's not the tenderloin. The tenderloin is on the inside of the carcass. And that goes to the freezer just like that. So you're probably saying, well, why would you do that? Well, number one, I just cut my butcher time down literally by 3/4 or literally less than half, because I'm not gonna take this piece of meat and cut it up into a bunch of little pieces. I'm gonna leave this on there when it goes in the freezer. When I freeze this piece of meat, I get very little blood loss because of the size of it. When it comes out, this is easy to take off because it still has some frost in it. You can literally cut it off with a butter knife. So leave it in the freezer, take it off when it comes out, and then you can do pretty much whatever you want with it. So this would be ready to go in the freezer, but I'm gonna show you with these two pieces what we could do as if it came out of the freezer. Let's just imagine that this piece came out of the freezer. So it's good to go. It's time to clean a little bit of this membrane off. There's a couple different ways. You push the meat when it's soft like this, but when it comes out of the freezer and it's frosty, it's nice and firm and you can peel this off pretty easy. So I'm pushing the meat into the blade of the knife. And then there's a couple different ways to get this off that side of the meat. One way is you can skin it like a fish, where you go underneath. And another way is, and I'm going right down that silver skin, is to hold the knife straight up, grab that silver skin, and just do this. Just roll it off. So from a chef's perspective, I take this, it came out of the freezer like this. We trimmed it, there was no really usable trim on that, and then we have this. So we cut our butcher time literally down in half. We retained the moisture in the meat so we didn't have all that blood loss. And now we have a good, beautiful, wholesome quality meat from the field to the table. And now we're ready to process this or cook it.